It's a step back three. Oh, it's a big one. 104 to 92. Harden with 24. Clippers take advantage of a massive opportunity on Thursday, and our story stays in Texas for the second of a three-game trip for the Clippers. James Harden and crew will take on the Mavericks once again. On Thursday, both Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving sat due to injuries. Now, while Luka is still out, Kyrie is back and is having one of his most efficient seasons of his career, and absolutely will have the full attention of the Clippers here tonight. We welcome you inside American Airlines. They're alongside our favorite Dallas Maverick, Jim Jackson. I'm Brian Seaman. Great to have you with us. David Pingalore here as well. Well, we really saw this first version of Ivica Zubac in the playoffs against Dallas back in April and May. And many thought if the Clippers were going to have some success, they would need to see that carry over. Not only has it carried over, but in many ways, he might even be better.
He is better because, like they say, variety is the spice of life. And now Zoo is scoring in a variety of different ways. Whether it's in that short roll where he has his little push shot in the middle, or now he's comfortable posting up, turning back to his right shoulder to score inside, tip-ins, layups. He's making plays out of the double team. So he's so much more valuable now offensively as an offensive threat, meaning it's not always scoring, he's facilitating, he's able to initiate offense and make plays.
And the other part of that equation of addition by subtraction is this man right here, Norman Powell.
Well, he started off a little bit slow in the last game, but we said to ourselves, once Norman hits a couple of shots, he'd be right back in the groove. And he's continuing his scorching ways. He's going to be key tonight that he put up a really good, quick number, but also start off to a fast pace.
Second straight game without Luka Doncic for Dallas. They do get Kyrie Irving back, and as great of an offensive player as he has been throughout his career, not sure he's ever shot the ball better than he is right now.
But it's amazing when you play with a top-tier player like Luka Doncic, how the game now becomes easier. You have more space to work in. You can pick and choose exactly what Kyrie, when he wants to score. Remember, it was like last year where it was like the third quarters really took off because he didn't need to press the situation. And that's the same thing this year. That's why he's so efficient right now, because he can pick and choose when he needs and wants to be aggressive, whether that's off the dribble, in transition. It's a beautiful thing. I hope he's not as efficient tonight.
Last time we saw Derrick Jones Jr. here at American Airlines Center, he was knocking down shots and locking up players. On Thursday, he was finally wearing the correct uniform. On the other side, Jim Jackson breaks it down. It was quite an opportunity for the Clippers. No Luka Doncic, no Kyrie Irving in Dallas in this first of two. Clippers took full advantage of it. Now game two, Kyrie is in, Luka is out. Take a look at the starting five for the Clippers. This is literally the fourth best lineup in the NBA. Meanwhile, for the Mavericks, this lineup has played a grand total of 3 minutes together. So an opportunity here for the Clippers to duplicate what they did on Thursday. For more on that, here is David Pingalore.
Hey, of course, on this Saturday evening, and yes, they flew in here on Wednesday, and they dominated Thursday night. My goodness, of course, there was no Kyrie or Luka playing in the game, but look at the stats in that game. Shooting lights out. Three-point land, field goals, points in the paint. Obviously, the big fella tonight is looking for a big game. We're talking about Zubac. Ty Lue, a little bit ago, told us in the little pre-game, presser how he likes being here, almost like a baseball type of series. Little dinners out, family. It's the holidays, so he enjoys this, and it should be an interesting game tonight as they played just a couple nights ago. Dominate. Good to be here with Jimmy tonight. Brian, when I walked in with him, he's like God here. It's unbelievable walking around with him.
He was opening up malls. He was cutting ribbons for stores. It was quite a scene. It was very nice. There was a nice lady just to our left that had an old shirt. Has to be 30-plus years
95.
old.
Triple J's. Unreal. Always good to come back to Dallas.
Let's see what the Clippers can do here. One thing I'm paying attention to is efficiency around the iron, especially for Dallas. They're one of the league leaders in that category, shooting over 70% at the rim. Thursday, they were 9 for 20. Give a lot of credit to Ivica Zubac. for a lot of things on Thursday. Harden against his one-time teammate. Here's Zoo, that floater from the foul line. Not there this time. And P.J. Washington has it for Dallas.
Well, with Kyrie now in the lineup, it presents a different challenge, in particular with the pick and roll. So keep our eye on that when he has the ball and Clippers are on defense.
The Mavericks this year without Luka but with Kyrie have been very good. 5-1, and they have beat big teams, not cupcake teams. This is a fully loaded roster in the sense of everybody can step up, certainly in short order. One thing that Ty Lue said they do without Luka, they play really fast. Exhibit A, transition three for P.J. Washington. Just his 9th corner three of the year. Struggles in the corners, very good above the break.
Yeah, but that's where this Mavs team, in particular when Kyrie is back in the lineup, they push quick. Now they have the ability to locate and find and get some open shots.
Harden 24, 7 assists, 5 rebounds in the game on Thursday. Powell accelerates on Dinwiddie. The floater is good, and Norman Powell signs his autograph on the game.
Well, that's what makes Norman so tough, is because you have to play him for the drive, but also for the catch and shoot and the pull up off the three. So he does have an advantage offensively with his skill set against his defenders.
Three not there. Lively, very lively on the glass. Gives to Irving, back to Lively. He was 5 for 5 on Thursday and gets a very high percentage shot here on Saturday.
Yeah, in the game before, I think he was 4 for 4. So now he's, 10 for 10 in the last couple, and a very good response that time by Harden, able to get right back. Now, again, keep in mind, we dominated the paint in the last game against Dallas.
Lively against his teammate one time, and Derek Jones shooting it to the rim, and in, count it, and a foul. We heard that Ty Lue likes these series for the dinners out, but he did say the opposition definitely knows how you're going to attack them, and we're seeing it right here with Dallas.
Yeah, and Derek Lively is living up to his name right now, because the activity in which he is able to bring to the table is tough, because he's always moving. So to get him, he does an excellent job of reading, especially when Luka and Kyrie are in the lineup. A lob threat, cuts, when to get to the basket, when to clear space.
Harden tries a wraparound to Zoo. It's picked off. Here comes Irving the other way. Accelerates into Powell, finds Thompson on the wing for three. In and out. Thompson was just 2 for 9 on Thursday after hitting half of his threes in the previous 3 games. Harden around Dinwiddie. Lobs it to Zoo. Can't tap it in. Rebound batted out of bounds. Last touch by Dallas.
Yeah, James thought he was hit on that lob. Maybe it was a lob, it was a shot attempt, or whatever it was. James was not too happy with the officials in the no call. Unfortunately for the Clips, they were able to retain the possession. 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Plenty of time to shoot here for the Clippers. They are 2 for 4. 9 to shoot for Zoo. Zoo rolls, has Thompson to beat, puts it up, puts it in, counted, and a foul. And a nice play there for the Clippers late in the clock.
But that's because Norm is going to draw attention, because Norm can shoot this shot off the dribble. So Lively committed all the way. Even with the rotation of Klay Thompson, he's giving up, 6 inches. And right there, Zoo did the right thing. One, he gathered himself off 2 feet, knowing he had the double team, and he was able to softly put it in, and
Clippers down 2 here early on in the first quarter. We'll talk about Zoo. Absolutely sensational on Thursday. Kyrie Irving inside, not there. Rebound batted over to Derek Jones Jr. Clippers looking to push. Dinwiddie gets back. Derek Jones attacks. Oh, and a very friendly roll, as if he knows the rims here in Dallas.
Yeah, but that's part of being athletic, too, because Dinwiddie did an excellent job of taking away the left hand. But the athleticism of Jones Jr. allowed him to hang in the air just a little bit longer, create that shot, and finish it.
It was the 20-minute restriction for Derek Jones Jr. We'll see if that extends here tonight. He played 5 minutes in each of the 4 quarters. Tough shot by Kyrie Irving. I mean, what else do you do if you're Chris Dunn?
Nothing you can do. I mean, you put a hand up, he's fading away back to the sideline, baseline, and that's all you can do. great players, you know, Brian, make incredibly tough shots.
Harden. It's Jones in the corner for three. Straight but strong. He hit both of his three-point efforts Thursday. Clippers down 2 inside of 8 minutes to play in the opening frame. Dinwiddie out of Taft High School in Los Angeles. Plays to Thompson, Santa Margarita. In the corner to Washington on the flyby. It's Powell. Washington attack, stripped. Recovered by Powell, knocked out of bounds. And the ball goes back to Dallas.
Watch James Harden come at the last minute because P.J. Washington, his eyes were focused and located at Zoo, and that's how James was able to strip it below.
Harden looks very active in this first quarter. Rises for three. It's offline. Dinwiddie with a rebound. 7:20 to play in the first quarter. Irving for three. Irving missed the game on Thursday with the shoulder injury. Cross-court pass intercepted. Irving tripped up, whistle, foul. Stops the clock. 7:10 to play in the frame.
You know, what's interesting about this Mavericks team is they're not a big mid-range shooting team, but in the prior game, because with no Luka, no Kyrie, they were like 10 for 17 on mid-range shots. And that's something, if you're the Clippers, you ran them off the three-point line, you forced them into taking more twos, but a lot of that was a byproduct because you weren't creating those shots off the dribble because of no Irving and Luka. Now it's going to change a little bit because Kyrie's in the lineup, but it'd be interesting to see how we guard the three-point line tonight.
Dinwiddie, the floater, struggled in the first 3 quarters, found his groove a little bit in the fourth. Whistle, foul as Zoo has the rebound. You saw the numbers with Kyrie with and without Luka Doncic as we get a good look at the foul.
Shot goes up here, right there. Dinwiddie trying to poke it away.
There's Luka. Go back to that playoff series. I don't think I'm saying anything crazy that it was Kyrie Irving that was the best player in that series. Doncic was nicked up, certainly hit some massive shots, as he's been one to do against the Clippers. Kyrie took over second halves of those games. He was sensational.
But listen, Kyrie played that role with Cleveland at times with LeBron James. You know, we all know about the big-time shot he hit, kind of sealed the deal for their championship against, you know, Golden State at the time. So that's nothing new for Kyrie.
Zoo struggling here after being so dominant on Thursday. Zoo just 1 for 4. And Zoo was 10 for 13 with 21, 15, and 5 for the Clippers. Irving tries to get clever with the bounce. Mavericks recover. Marshall for three. It's good. Just 31% on the year, knocks it down. Tyloo does not like what he has seen as the Mavericks jump out in front by 5. Have success this year. Ivica Zubac was going to have to kind of do what he did in the playoffs, and well, here we are. While he is scoring 1 point less, rebounds are up, assists are up, field goal percentage up, him reading the defense, kind of the intangibles as well. You can mess with filters to make things look nice, but these are pretty basic filters, and that is very non-basic company. That is elite as it gets.
Yeah, it is. And you think about it, his usage rate is not as high, of course, as Giannis's or Domas Sabonis. So for him to be in that company just tells you how valuable he is and how much his teammates value that production and everything too.
Zoo. The ball knocked out of bounds by Irving. You see Amir Coffey is out there. So 5 minutes for Derek Jones Jr. They're going to make sure that he is 150% before they start loading on that normal volume of minutes. But you know, I mentioned when he is in the lineup, the Clippers this year through almost 30 games have the 4th best lineup in the league when it comes to net rating. That lineup has the 3rd best defense in the league. They struggled a little bit out of the gate. 13-8 they trailed. Dunn driven off the line late in the clock, and I have to put it up. The heave ahead of the horn, and the rebound batted out of bounds by Zoo, and it goes back to Dallas. Mavericks 5 for 12, Clippers 4 for 10.
look at the games that Luka has missed. Kyrie has not been a dominant force in the first quarters. He's letting the game come to him. You saw the numbers. He does average more. He has to work a lot harder. Takes 6 more shots. Not as efficient as he is when Luka is on the floor. This is another tough shot by Kyrie. Misses everything. Clippers get it.
Well, the defense now can focus in when Luka is not on the court with Kyrie. You got to take things away, and when you don't focus on your backside rotation, Norman Powell, you pay with an easy layup inside.
Powell now 2 for 2. Clippers down by 3. Kyrie trying to work without the ball. Deflected, recovered by the Clippers. Here comes Harden. Dunn spots up on the wing in transition. Straight but strong. Rebound kept alive, but it's Lively that gets it. Marshall tries to cross over Harden. Whistle and a foul. Stops the clock. 5:01 to play here in the first.
Well, take advantage of your mismatches when you can, in particular in transition. This is when you can really exploit one-on-one opportunities if you're the Clippers. Norm on Kleber, that is a mismatch waiting to happen that time. If you go quick, the defense is not set, the back line is not there, and Powell able to really take advantage of that in transition.
A gentle finish by Norman Powell.
He was showing he can throw it down, but he just wanted to lay it over the top. That's it.
Marshall spins on Coffee, very active here in his short time on the floor. Gets rewarded again with free throws.
Well, but you talked about when Luka's not in the lineup and Kyrie has to take over. It was 4 games during the course of this season when Luka wasn't in, and Najee Marshall had, he was averaging over 20-plus points a game during that time. Now, he's coming back off of an illness, so not playing as well right now, but very valuable to what they do, especially on the defensive end and spotting up, knocking down shots.
Just his 3rd game in December. As we get a quick word from Jerome's Furniture.
Get ready with incredible deals and check out our no-interest financing until 2027. Only at Jerome's.
Spent his first 4 years in New Orleans. Father was a professional boxer. He was actually a boxer. Najee, until about 13. Said he always had the love for basketball. Probably get some good cardio in over the summer. Zoo hands off to Powell. Picked up by Gafford. Steps back for a straight-on 3. Book it. 3 for 3 is Powell. He's got 7, and he brings the Clippers to within 2.
And that's a good sign for the Clippers. I mean, when Norman can get started early, the defense has to shift, and he can get his teammates some open looks. And Gafford, one of those fouls you don't want to have if you're the Mavericks. They give it up to Zoo. But watch Norman right here. Patience. Gafford goes back, isolates Marshall. Doesn't want to fully commit to Norman, knowing that he can bounce it off the dribble a little bit and get by him. But that's the respect you got to have when you have the toolkit offensively that Norman Powell has.
Kevin Porter Jr. now out there as Dunn takes his seat. Harden calls his own number from 10 in and out. Clippers have missed some pretty good shots here. Zoo is around the iron. Harden misses there on the 10-footer. Marshall goes to work. Denied by Zoo. Knocked out of bounds by Gafford. It's Clipper ball.
And that's the value of Zoo. Inside his rim protection, numbers will tell you that are not exactly the same as they were last year, but he's still a deterrent.
Porter Jr. on Grimes, crosses him over down the lane, and we've said it for the last few weeks. So elite in the paint, and Kevin Porter Jr. ties up the score at 15.
Let's go.
Gafford not a threat out there. In fact, neither of the two centers with Lively are much of a threat outside of the restricted area. Rebound back tapped over to half court, and 14 placed back on the clock for Grimes. Irving shouted by Powell. Zoo active on the glass. It goes to Powell. Coffee on the break. Over the shoulder of Harden. Unforced error. I will say this, Jim. You go back to October, early November. We were talking a lot about the variance in the turnovers. We haven't seen bad turnovers in quite a long time.
And the ones that you see Porter Jr. able to get to his right hand and finish, but the ones that really hurt us with you always talked about this with the live ball turnovers. Okay, we've done a lot better job. I think guys are settling in, not trying to take chances with passes. If it's not there initially, you pull it back, ball fake and move it. That's helped secure your defense as well when you're not turning it over, in particular when they're live ball.
Clippers come in top 6 defensively. Kyrie Irving on the wing for 3 and horseshoes off. Irving now 1 for 7 in this first quarter. Clippers looking to break the tie here. Harden on Marshall for 3. It is short. And Quentin Grimes comes away with a loose ball for Dallas. Clippers have not led in this one. Mavericks have led by as many as 5. Grimes recalibrates, gets to the block, and knocks it in. I mentioned players that have stepped up in Luka Doncic's absence. Grimes is one of the headliners in that category. Kyrie's been very active and very aggressive on both sides of the ball. He does pick up the foul there. 2:17 to play in the first quarter. Mavericks by 2.
I think it's very important for a kid to
Hey, all-star voting. Your vote counts for 3 votes here today. Voting open until now for just about a month. You can vote on the NBA app, NBA.com. I would nominate little James Harden, little Norman Powell action. Would love to see one or both of those guys get in. It'll be tough, let's be honest.
Yep.
By the way, while we have an opportunity, I would love to say happy birthday to the game of basketball. 133 years. Yes.
How about it?
You're great.
You're a guy.
It's Dr. James Naismith.
Dr. J, the original Dr. J.
I used to live on Naismith Drive. I used to live right next to Fog Allen Fieldhouse and would drive by Dr. Naismith's gravesite several times a week. So I felt very connected to the game. And
did you talk to him at his gravesite? Did you ask him any questions?
I never got
Did you get
that
some
close.
insight?
The restraining order is still valid. Porter Jr. coming out of the timeout in the mid-range this time and knocks it down. He has been up and down the last couple of ball games, but comes out here and ties up the score at 17. He's 2 for 2 off the bench.
But that's the confidence that the coaching staff has in him. Out of the timeout, drew a play up for him to be able to get isolated, and he came through with making the basket. So confidence is there in this young man. You know his ability to get by you and finish with his athleticism, and that time he loves to get to that right hand step back, being a lefty.
Slowly but surely finding his form. We saw it in Houston. He is a very gifted scorer. I'm trying to find a new role with a team that has expectations to win, and that's no slight on Houston, but they were in full rebuild when Porter Jr. was down there with Steven Silas and a bunch of young players. He was one of them. You see it, really finding his own rhythm here with the Clippers. Gafford, 67% on the year. Makes a second. Clippers looking for their first lead of the game. Mentioned earlier, they trailed by as many as 5. Porter Jr. Good defense by Grimes. It's a deep 3 for Harden. Oh, it is good. And he puts the Clippers out in front 20-18. Harden with his second basket. He's got a couple of rebounds as well. Dinwiddie in the corner for 3. It's good. And he has struggled in his last few ball games, just 2 for 15 from distance.
But like we saw too, Dinwiddie caught a little fire in the fourth quarter. So you don't want to get him started.
Bamba, a straight-on 3. It is short. He has struggled from 3 here in this season, just trying to get his legs back. Now 5 for 22 overall. Marshall, nice pass inside to Gafford. Misses the jam. The Clippers have it. Inside of a minute to play in the first quarter. It's a low-scoring first frame. Clippers scored 68 points in the second half on Thursday. Harden maybe got away with a walk, floats it up, but not in. Despite the long arms of Mo Bamba, can't come away with a loose ball. Marshall. He's been in attack mode since his number's been called, and he delivers again. He's got 7.
He looks like he has more energy tonight than he did on Wednesday, which is probably not the best sign for us, that he's feeling a little bit better. Glad he is, but he is looking aggressive, Brian.
About a 9-second shot to game clock differential. It'll be Dallas ball to start the second quarter. Harden, the lob. Oh, it's a floater, and it's good. And it cuts the lead down to 1. Harden now with 7. He's got a unique release on that floater, and it works for him. Shot clock is turned off. Marshall once again maintains the aggression. It's a double clutcher. It misses badly, and the Clippers get a goal line stand. And they trail by 1 at the end of 1. As the Clippers hanging around here trying to steal 2 in Dallas with no Luka Doncic. James Harden doing some work. So is Norman Powell. Clippers trail by 1 after 1. By James Harden. Harden was 7 points in the first quarter. He'll start the second quarter on the bench, but rapidly climbing the ladder in terms of scoring leaders in the NBA. There you see it. I hope he passes Tim Duncan tonight. I'd be very excited if he passed Dominique Wilkins. Oh, it only cost maybe 200 more points.
Yeah.
Dinwiddie and the Mavericks has promised control to start the second. Dinwiddie inside. It's good. Mavericks just 37% from the field, yet they lead by 3. Bit of a concern if you're following here with the Clippers.
Well, I mean, but, you know, in Wednesday's game, we were down 6 in the first quarter, 30-24. But we were able to really play a lot better in the second quarter. So let's see what the Clippers have in mind here.
Kevin Porter Jr. for 3. It is good. He's 3 for 3, and he ties up the score as we get this second quarter underway.
Porter Jr. can get buckets, man. I mean, you got to respect his driving ability. When you do that, you want to force him to be a jump shooter, but seems to have some rhythm right now. Speaking of which, you don't want that young man to start getting into a rhythm, which he has been over the last 4 games.
At no point during that shot did I think he had control of the ball.
But you know, shooters like that, all they got to do is feel it on the fingertips. That's all you have to do, and the rest is just years of practice.
As you were saying, Powell gets a quick touch, can't get it to fall. P.J. Washington controls for Dallas, out in front by 3. Dinwiddie feeling good. Grimes with a long rebound. Dinwiddie, ball fake, plays catch with Lively, then goes right back to Lively. The floater is good. And Derek Lively now 3 for 3, hasn't missed a shot in a few games.
But that's, you know, that quick shot by Dinwiddie. Some people say it's a good shot, bad shot. But if you do it quick enough and you have offensive rebound and you get a chance to get it back like they did, and they ended up taking advantage of that quick shot in transition and offensive rebound.
Lively has it picked up by Bamba. The two went to the same high school, different times, of course. Same high school as Cam Reddish as well. Thompson turns the corner, attacks the rim and lays it in. Not a great start here for the Clippers, and a timeout for Ty Lue. Dallas with the largest lead of the game, out in front by 7.
To families and into a dome. This is all part of Clippers Adopt a Family event. Norman Powell, little meet and greet. Kids certainly love that after the game. Look at the parents happy for their kids. And when you can see Norman Powell smiling, he's going to make a bunch of people smile this holiday season. And that right there is what the holidays are all about. Giving back, and he'd be the first to tell you that's what it's certainly all about. The young man from UCLA during the holidays. Gentlemen?
Norm is a good egg. There's zero question about that. I've mentioned it before, the dedication to his craft. And I don't know how dedicated he is to getting that scar taken care of.
No, that's part of his superpower.
It is. That's the origin story. Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's coming up on almost a year now. And I want to say in February. But it has given him superpowers. And he's in the starting lineup, and he has been phenomenal in the role that he has been dreaming of since he was in junior high. Porter Jr. weaves inside. 9 to shoot for Batum. Good ball movement. They go to Zoo. Singly covered by Lively. Batum leans in and draws the foul. He'll go to the line for 3 free throws. It's not a place he has been all that much this year. Just 8 total free throws attempted by our favorite Frenchman.
You don't have to get there often, but because he is a threat from behind the line, Clay with the long closeout, kind of not under control. Nico read his feet, knew that he was probably going to bite for that pump fake. Got him in the air, got himself to the line.
He has the most points from any native-born Frenchman It's not going to last long because of a guy in San Antonio, but enjoy
What's
it
his
while
name?
you can.
Who is it? What's his name? Young Kai, right?
Some guy. Hey,
It starts with a V.
Tip off the new year with a new Clippers tote bag. Get your tickets for our game against the Hawks on Friday the 4th and be among the first 10,000 fans in attendance to get a red statement jersey tote bag. That's it. That's not a jersey. That's actually a bag. Put your groceries in there. Put some fun things in there. Go to clippers.com/tickets. Batum knocks down all three. And the Clippers, despite just 1 for 4, and the Mavericks going 4 for 5, trail by just 4. Lively spins away from Porter Jr., floats it up. He misses for the first time in a long time, and Zoo has the rebound.
Mavericks doing a better job of competing. See Porter Jr. pull up and a quick shot in the paint. Right now it's tied up 14-14. That was an area where the Clippers dominated in our first game of this series.
Well, the Mavericks have hit 3 of 3 in the painted area in this second quarter. After going 4 of 10 in the first, whistle foul. It looks like Porter Jr. gets the brunt of it.
But let's take it, look at it at the end. He gets over the top and now, oh yeah, he caught that. And again, that's not intentional by Dinwiddie. But Porter Jr. is trying to he gets over that screen, leans into it, and at the same time, unfortunately, Dinwiddie is attempting this shot to go up, and he gets the blunt of that contact.
We're going to have a challenge on this one. 8:37 to play in the first quarter.
Motion, therefore this foul is going to stand as a defensive foul. And the challenge is unsuccessful. Play will resume with 3 free throws. And LA will lose that timeout.
You can see what they reveal. I don't think Dinwiddie did anything wrong there. I agree with you, Jim. Meanwhile, Pat Frayer, we saw him rehearsing. We saw him warming up before the game in front of the camera. All true stories. He is a no-nonsense delivery. Not much of a storyteller.
No, he's straight to the point. He's like, no nonsense. And I told him, I said, the camera angle, we need to make you look better. Okay, so we need to adjust it and bring it up a little bit more. He said, man, that's not going to work. So he had a little comedic sense of humor to that right there, but we're going to put him to the test tonight.
I wouldn't say that it wasn't a bad delivery. It was fine. It was just straight business.
But
there are some
fine is really not good. Fine is like, okay, I'll deal with it.
We've seen some of these other officials, though. We'll take 5. All 3 free throws fall for Dinwiddie, and the Mavericks match their largest lead of 7. Zoo tries to send it across court, intercepted by Dinwiddie, deflected out of bounds, I believe, by the Mavericks. It's Clipper ball.
Dodged a bullet there.
Dallas 4 for 6 in the quarter. Clippers 1 for 5. First turnover for the Clippers in the half, 5 in the game. Dallas shooting 41%, yet they lead by 7. Clippers have to get something going. Zeus spots an entry, drives on Lively, surrounded by defenders off the window and in. No style points. It does count for 2, and we will take it.
You know how hard that shot is, man? to slam it right off the middle of the backboard, right in the lane. But Zoo wasn't pretty, like you said, but it counts for 2. Much needed 2.
Great ball movement. Marshall in the corner, spins off. Rebound goes back to Ivica Zubac, his 7th. Clippers down a handful. Porter Jr. tries to drive on Irving. Kyrie reaches in, deflects it, takes it away, whistle, and a crime of passion from Kevin Porter Jr. after the steal by Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, but Kai knew exactly what Kevin Porter Jr. wanted to do. He wanted to get to that step back. So Kai cut off the initial dribble going left, but he waited, and as soon as Kevin Porter Jr. went into his move, Kai was right there on top of it to slap it away.
Porter Jr. offensively 3 for 4 from the field. Picks up his 2nd foul in the process. Trying to get some more offense on the floor here. James Harden, Norm Powell back out there. Derek Jones Jr. joins the fray. He's picking up Spencer Dinwiddie right now. Puts it into the front row. A rebuke there by Derek Jones Jr.
Now one-on-one defense. Don't want to get yourself caught in rotation. So the better you guard the ball initially, the less you get in rotation. Beautiful read by Kyrie, but that Zoo, his presence once again made Kyrie shoot it a little bit higher. Off with Derek Jones Jr. there. Good defense by Najee Marshall.
A little bit of concern here for the Clippers, if you ask me. 38% shooting for Dallas. Kyrie Irving is 1 for 8. They lead by 5, as many as 7.
Yeah, but you know, and these series back-to-back, not back-to-back games, but playing 2 games, you know, while you're on the road against the same team.
Dinwiddie, go ahead.
No, it has a little something. And you said it. Mavericks are not playing great, but yet we're down. But that could be good, too, because if we can go on a little run, we can capture the lead here.
Going to start here with the Norman Powell 3. It's in the air. Short. Rebound goes to Marshall. Powell now 1 for 4 from above the arc. We've seen him heat up despite slow starts. Dinwiddie. Nice effort there to bounce it to Gafford, deflected out of bounds.
You know what encourages me, though, Brian, even though we're missing the shots and we're not shooting the ball well right now, only 43%, but we're getting the shots we want to get. So it's different if the Mavs are dictating what our shot selection is or isn't, but that's not the case. We're not hitting some of the shots that we normally make, but the Mavericks aren't either.
Kyrie now 1 for 9. Powell in transition on Kleba. Done. Tough pass for Powell, and another turnover. Is that the 3rd out of 4 possessions here for the Clippers? 8 total, but of the 8 turnovers, the previous 7, only 3 points against Ty Lue's squad.
Man, that goes into the shooting, too. It's not the defense, I don't think, by the Mavs that are forcing these turnovers. That time, Norman could never really gather and get control of the ball. He wanted to make the move in the corner, but didn't have possession, hence he turned it over.
Gafford accosted by Zoo. That'll be the first foul on Ivica Zubac's 3rd foul on the Clippers here in the 2nd quarter, midway through. We saw this yesterday. 8 fouls for the Clippers, 5 for Dallas. That's not a comment on the officiating. That was something that Brian Shaw talked about, wanting to clean up in the second half, defend without fouling. But a muddied up game, I think, absolutely has to favor the Clippers in a situation like this. Trying to steal 2 in Dallas after Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving don't play in Thursday's game. Doncic out here tonight. You can see Derek Lively so terrific. Gafford was really good, is really good. But Lively has just been super special in his 2nd year.
But that's why you draft the Derek Lively, because of his potential, his upside. Once he gets comfortable, they knew that Lively wasn't quite ready last year, so having Gafford there as a stopgap, someone he can learn from, but eventually Lively is the one that they've kind of foreseen to be in the lineup.
They were very creative with how they got that draft pick, or at least held on to it, I should say. Dunn in the corner for 3. Great effort there by Marshall. Gets it ahead to Irving. Picked up by Derek Jones Jr. They swing it to Grimes. Driven off the line by Zoo. Attacks the rack and lays it in. Largest lead of the game. And Quentin Grimes is 2 for 2 off the bench for Dallas. Harden trying to get something going. Clippers just 3 for 14 from 3. Interception by Derek Jones Jr. Powell on the wing. Clean look. Can't get it to go. Rebound back. Tapped out of bounds.
Well, listen, grind your way through. Right now the shots are not going in. Keep the game within the balance, okay? Keep it below double figures. Cut this lead down before you go in the half, because all you need, if you can do that, Brian, you just need a spurt. Some baskets, get to the free throw line. Now the game looks totally different, but you can't let it get away in these last 5 minutes.
Strong move by Gafford inside. His first bucket, he was 0 for 4 on Thursday. 4:37 to play here in this 2nd quarter. Clippers trail by 11. Powell accelerates inside from behind. Gafford knocks it out of bounds. Norman Powell wants a whistle. He's not going to get it. Flirting with a technical.
Well, let's take a look at what Norman's talking about, right? was upset about something. I didn't see any contact on the shot.
Maybe he didn't like how hard Gafford knocked it out of bounds. Harden creates the contact on Kyrie, but can't finish. However, does get a whistle. And James Harden will go to the free throw line. This has been kind of a bellwether for the Clippers. When Harden gets to the line, they are tough to beat. These are just his first free throws.
About 22 for 24 in the last 2 games. His free throw shooting this year is up, which is good. 7.4 free throw attempts this year compared to 4.8 last year, which means his activity is there.
Clipper Nation, don't miss out on the action. Single game tickets in the wall at Intuit Dome start at $29. Go to clippers.com/tickets now and get your seats before they're gone. December 27th is an interesting date. We know nothing. We're speculating 100%. But if I hadn't been to a game, Jim Jackson, this year and wanted to see Intuit Dome, I'm buying tickets yesterday. If for nothing else, a heck of a team that's put together quite a run here in the first now 28 games. This is 29. Whistle, travel, turnover, ball's going the other way. By the way, you saw, I don't know if he was trying to demonstrate that he wasn't reaching in, but after the contact that James Harden created, it was quite a blow against Kyrie Irving. It almost looked like he was just trying to favor a shoulder if you could. And it's a shoulder injury that kept him out of the game on Thursday. Something to pay attention to even before the injury. Kyrie just 1 for 9. This is during one of his best shooting seasons of his career, which says a lot. Harden from the nail, it's good. The band sings hallelujah. And a timeout here as these two teams are just throwing rocks at each other here in the first half. It's 41-34 Mavericks. Really turning up the efficiency. You see it, he has been phenomenal. We mentioned a little bit getting extra sleep. He's, kind of figuring out his timing with having no shoot-arounds. Remember, before shoot-arounds, he would have a rigorous warm-up that was very game speed, very intense. Those are now gone. He's saving his legs at the age of 35, and here we are now 35 or so % way into the season. And he's been the best he has been this year for the Clippers, who have asked a ton for him. And again, help could be on the way sooner rather than later. Kyrie Irving in the corner to Grimes for 3, in and out. Rebound tapped over to Washington. And he floats it in on his second effort. 4th offensive rebound, 6th second chance point for Dallas. They're top 10 in that league, and they lead 43-34. Harden. Lots of contact, no whistle. Derrick Jones Jr. in the corner for 3. Whistle, loose ball foul against Dallas. It'll be the 3rd against the Mavericks.
Battling, he's going away to get the hook in. Zoo may have got away with that, but I think the official said that Gafford had control over Zoo beforehand. Good for us.
Powell on the flyby. Long. 1 for 6 so far in the first half. He hit his first 2 shots of the game. He's 3 for 9 overall. What a pass. Nice defense inside by Harden, interrupting what would have been an easy basket for Maxi Kleber. And the foul on Harden.
Well, and that's the power of Kyrie, because Norm Powell, is always defensive principles, ball you man, but watching Kyrie to see what was going to happen, that's when he lost eye contact with Kleber, who went back door. And that's what a dynamic player like that can do for you at times. Just freeze you and open up some opportunities for his teammates.
They were late to add the foul. It's 2nd on Harden. This is just the 7th and 8th free throws here by Maxi Kleber. He makes the 2nd. So a 10-point lead. Dallas this year 17-1 with a double-digit advantage. That has usually involved Luka Doncic, but again, they have found success without Doncic on the floor. 5-1. Nice play by Washington. Plenty of time on the clock for Powell. Tries to bounce inside to Zoo. Turnover number 9. Mavericks just 39% from the field. Clippers 37%. Washington loses it. The Clippers come back the other way. Harden crashing into Kleba, whistle and a foul. We'll see if they rule that a shooting foul. It's the fourth team foul for Dallas, and now the Clippers and Mavericks both with 4 team fouls.
It's interesting. You've been around this a long time to know this. The older you get, the craftier you get. You know you're not going to elevate over opponents or blow by them, so you have to figure out ways to still be effective offensively when you're not as athletic and quick as you once were. And James is using the ground game, so to speak, to be his way of getting to the line, creating shots. He uses those broad shoulders and initiates contact.
I do feel the need to say, I feel like he did that even in his prime.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, I mean, he's really using body because he has to create space. Before he could bop, dribble and get by you. Now it's not as easy, so he's using his shoulders, his leverage, his initial contact to create that space, that up and under shot. He was doing that when he was getting by guys, but now, just different ways to be effective.
And with those 2 free throws, he now passes Tim Duncan on the all-time leading scorers list, which says a lot about Tim Duncan, by the way, with the numbers that James Harden was putting up for those years in Houston. 46-36, Mavericks by 10. Another tough pass inside. Dallas with 2 minutes to play here, trying to feather the nest heading into the break. Dinwiddie for 3. I'm not sure it got halfway there. Lively with a rebound. Washington good above the break on 3s, not there. Rebound back tapped out of bounds and goes back to the Clippers. The 2 teams have combined to go 7 for 32 from 3.
So essentially not shooting the ball well. Is that what you say?
I would say it's tough to win a game when you shoot below 40% overall, but someone's going to have to win this game.
Well, but I'm not, you know what though? A night like this on the road, neither team is shooting well, which I'm glad, because if we're not shooting well, I'm glad Dallas is not. And, it's a 4-possession game. I'll kind of take that, because if we limit our turnovers, maybe get some stuff in transition, it's a different way in a different game, maybe in the second half.
Norman Powell, perhaps these can help get him back on track. Just 1 for 6 from above the arc. Knocks down the first and cuts a lead into single digits. The season of gifting has tipped off with no fees on tickets in the wall. Now's your chance to score the perfect gift for your favorite Clipper fans. Secure your seats at clippers.com/tickets. We'll be back to see the wall on December 27th. Clippers hosting the Golden State Warriors, who are kind of going through it right now. Clippers have won the first 2 games against Golden State. Lively tries to hand to Kyrie and does. 10 to shoot. 2 teammates in Brooklyn. Irving gets around him, leaps and leans, not there. Rebound. Oh, it's a big one by Lively. A man-sized rebound in the corner to Kyrie. The 3 is good. That's a tough one. 49-38 Mavericks. Porter Jr. mishandled. Boy, wheels coming off here in the second quarter. Clippers trying to get to a standing 8 count before the break. Kyrie for 3, feeling good. Lively with another rebound. And it's Thompson in the corner for 3. And the Clippers coming undone. Self-inflicted wounds. And the lead balloons to 14.
You said 7 turnovers here in the second quarter.
2-for-1 opportunity. Harden to retaliate. The 3's offline. Rebound poked over to Zoo. Clippers have it. Powell attacks, hangs, and lays it in. Points 10 and 11 for Norman Powell. Momentarily stops the bleeding. It'll be Dallas ball to start the third. But they're looking to add to the momentum here. This has always been a raucous crowd when we have been in town. And they're starting to use their voice here in the second quarter. Thompson. Klay Thompson is 4 for 6. There's time for the Clippers. Harden checks the clock. Porter in the corner ahead of the horn. In and out. So the Clippers self-destruct in the last 2 minutes with turnovers and giving up offensive rebounds. They trail by 14, but history has been made as James Harden passes Tim Duncan in the first half on the all-time scoring list. Work to be done here in Dallas. About James Harden, there must be something in the water in Texas. This is where he had some of his best years. He was terrific on Thursday and trying to keep the Clippers in it in that first half. He was 4 for 10 with 13, doing some damage from the free throw line. 4 for 4, had 3 rebounds, is credited for 5 turnovers, although I'm not sure how responsible he is for all of those. But from a kind of a point in history, you see it is passing Tim Duncan in terms of the all-time scoring list. Kudos to James Harden. Meanwhile, one of the reasons why the score is a little lopsided at the break, second chance points for Dallas. They were really great on the glass. In fact, when they win the rebounding war, they are 11-0. They're doing that in the first half here, 24-19. But it was the second chance efforts, especially 2 of them leading to threes late in the second, that helped create some of the separation that we see right now. There is 24 minutes left in this game. Neither team really all that great from the field. An opportunity here for the Clippers as we send it over to David Pingalore.
All right, Brian, yeah, I just spoke to Brian Shaw, the assistant coach. He said, obviously, 54-40, we're in striking distance. A couple of things here. Got to be better screening of the basketball. We got to get better screens, get better shots, and you got to keep Derek Lively off the boards, killing him right now. They do those three things, it'll be a good Christmas, because they're going to come in here and get 2 games. They got to continue. They got to get better in those 3 areas. But they are in striking distance, Jimmy. How do you like that for an analyst?
Well, tis the season, so tis the season, Dave. That was really good.
Puzzled look, a season of giving to let David do
my job.
Yes,
that's okay. Dave, you got it.
Well, the Mavericks open up with a turnover. Let's see if the Clippers can't get something going here. Harden picked up by Lively, steps back and knocks it down. That's the 5th bucket for Harden, 15 overall in the game. The Clippers make a little noise here, not shooting the ball all that well, but their defense might be able to keep them in. The only concern I have is a double-digit lead, and Kyrie Irving, who has the ball, is 2 for 12. Dinwiddie, no, and the rebound goes to Derek Jones Jr. Dallas now 6 of 20 from 3. Clippers would love that percentage. They're 3 for 19. Tough pass for Zoo to handle inside, perhaps Thompson the other way as the turnovers continue here for the Clippers. Washington in the corner for 3, spins off.
Yeah, dodged the bullet there. You know, and to add to David's report too, you know, the offensive rebounds, you know, right now 12 points. Dallas had a total of 12 second chance points, or 10 second chance points in the game on Wednesday. So +2 in that category, and we're only at half. But that, you clean up that, and also what we just saw with James, those turnovers. Just you reel them back in. Let's get some shots at the rim.
12 turnovers here for the Clippers. The good news, only 8 points off of those turnovers. Just missed opportunities really for the Clippers. 6 giveaways for Dallas, 8 points off of those for the Clippers. Derek Jones Jr. way off on the 3. Dinwiddie with a rebound. Dinwiddie looks like a different player tonight than he did for the first 3 quarters on Thursday. Been very active, been very aggressive, even with Kyrie on the floor. This is a lineup that hasn't seen a lot of time together. We mentioned it at the top of the show, just 3 total minutes. Hard to tell. They're playing very well together. They lead by 14. Dinwiddie, 10 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds here. Just 2 minutes off this 3rd quarter clock. Lob to Derek Jones Jr. Catches and casually drops it into the cylinder.
Above the rim, throw it up. He'll go get it. Right now. Double baskets. Good defense that time by Clay on Clay.
He leaves Irving open. The missed shot. Rebound goes to Powell. It's a running one. And the Clippers looking to push. Derek Jones Jr. backs it out. Plenty of time on the clock here for Harden. It's around Kyrie. Finds Dunn. Heaves it from 3. It's online, and it is good. The first bucket for Dunn. And it cuts the lead down to single digits, 56-47.
Well, it's amazing what happens to your offense, how more efficient it is when you're valuing the basketball. Then you end up getting some good looks, able to knock it in. And wow.
On the gamble, does it pay off? Lively had the layup after Dunn flies by. It exposes Irving in the corner, and he knocks down the three to retaliate. Powell, the floater. Powell 4 for 12. Wants a whistle, not going to get it. Flirting with a technical here. And you can tell he's been frustrated really all night long.
Yeah.
Kyrie, it's what you don't want to see. Starting to warm up, one of the greatest offensive players in league history. As Ty Lue, who coached him in Cleveland, said he does not have a flaw in his offensive game. Harden doesn't have one either. Whistle foul. Stops the clock. 8:34 to play in the third.
But let's go back to DJ in the backdoor cut. Keep your eye on Clay right here. He's ball watching, and how many times have we seen James Harden make that pass from the opposite side of the court, right there where the slash mark is at, close to the sideline, able to deliver it. And with a guy like Derrick Jones Jr., just throw it up close, man, he'll go get it.
Got to be a really bad pass.
Yes. Yeah.
And sometimes the worst passes are the best alley-oops. Harden, Powell, beg your pardon. Late in the clock, had to fire that one up. He's 1 for 7 from 3. Clippers 4 for 22 overall. They were 14 of 33 on Thursday. Irving shows off the handles, but Dunn is right there and then throws it away. Mavericks recover. Dinwiddie for 3. Powell with a rebound.
And that's great weak side help by Derrick Jones Jr. I think it was that knocked that pass away, the lob attempt that Kyrie was trying to make. And that's his really good weak side defense to rotate over. There you go, Zoo.
Harden tries to sell the contact. It's Ivica Zubac beating the Mavericks at their own game with a second chance effort. 61-49. Dinwiddie creates contact but doesn't create a whistle. Harden alone on the wing, eases into the 3. Offline, Zoo with another rebound. And lays it in, counted on a foul. Big time sequence there for Ivica Zubac.
It doesn't take much, Dave, for them to get back in this game. And Brian, this is what you need. Get it up quick. Now we can give Dallas a piece of their own medicine, so to speak, with a second shot. Zoo doing a really good job of beating Derek Lively down the court. That allows him to get him on his back, keep the concentration, eyes up at the rim. 8 points, 12 rebounds. I'd like to see him involved maybe a little bit more in that middle pick and roll with he and James. That opens up so many opportunities. There you go, Zoo, knock it in.
There's been a lot of rebounds to have with both teams struggling. That said, Clippers now 5 of 10 from the field here in the third, and they've outscored Dallas by 5, trimming the lead into single digits. Thompson. Runner offline. Zoo has the rebound. Hands it off to Harden. Clippers making some noise in the third. Exactly what they need to do. Washington on Harden. On the switch. Powell gets around Washington, gets into the paint, ladles it to Zoo. Oh, it's a ferocious finish for Ivica Zubac. 7 unanswered. Clippers trail 61-54. Najee Marshall in, leaves it short, rebound goes to Zoo, and now the Clippers begin to flex. 6:38 to play in the third. And a very quiet American Airlines Arena. Powell, whistle, foul, free throws coming. A timeout on the floor. Ivica Zubac taking over here in the second half.
Yeah, Norman Powell not shooting the ball well, but still attracts attention, dumps it off for Zoo to cut into this, whether it's getting the offensive rebounds, being a lot more active than Derek Lively here in this third quarter, whether running the court, getting inside, able to get to the free throw line, and then in that dunker spot, got on the inside of Kyrie Irving. 3 for 3 this quarter. 5 rebounds, 2 offensive. Right now, it's the 11th double-double in the last 14 games. And I said it, that as bad as, we've shot the ball, you're there. You get some stops, you take care of it. Dallas is not, shooting the lights out of it. So they give you an opportunity, Brian, to get in this game. And we kind of see that here, the middle of this third quarter by the Clippers.
And I'm curious, and my memory may be fuzzy, but I feel like there's been times when Zoo gets off to slow starts and he doesn't recover. Had a slow start in that first half. He's recovered. He's 3 for 3. Clippers have 5 second chance points here in the first 6 minutes or so of the quarter, and are just kind of whittling away at what was a lead as large as 14.
Well, but Zoo, too, which was really good, he was really active. He was hard to box out. He wasn't standing in one place, so hence he was able to get 2 offensive rebounds, 1 for the putback. And you love that kind of activity from the big fella.
5-point game. Irving with another tough shot. Rebound vacuumed in by Harden. Maxi Kleber is out there for Dallas. Clippers look to attack. Jones in the corner for 3. Battles for the loose ball, and it's tapped over to Gafford. Klay Thompson found the range late in the second quarter to help that lead go to 14. Gives it up to Kleber. Now Gafford. Not a threat from out there. Thompson is. Kleber, strong drive. And a nice swipe there by Derrick Jones Jr. Goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Dallas. Jim mentioned a double-double for Zoo. Clippers are 12 and 6. When Zoo does that, Ty Lue looking on. His family is here. But he loves these kind of series, especially in great cities. Dallas certainly is that. Marshall straight away for 3. It's good. And it stops the bleeding for Dallas, and the lead swells back to now 9.
Well, that's pretty good defense, too, by the Clippers. They were right in Najee Marshall's face. Keep in mind, Najee is like 6'8", so he's able to get that shot up and over.
My public school math is off. It's an 8-point lead. Powell fumbling around in the paint, 9 to shoot, in trouble. Lucky get past that to Harden. You're going to have to bail him out. Hesitation, 3. No. Rebound, fought for. Boy, it is like the Hunger Games below the bucket here tonight. A lot of contact. Gafford, whistle, foul. They will count the basket as well. No. They wipe it away. They say it's on the floor. Yes.
His first personal, it's the first team foul. Now going to line for 2 shots. Then.
Dr. James Naismith, not sure, thought this would be. I'm sure he said this is a non-contact sport.
But I wonder what made him go to the peach basket. But why did, of all the things you could create and use?
Call a welder. Are they not around? And
yeah, I mean, there's plenty of welding.
Call a blacksmith.
But why the basket? You know, the peach basket itself. I love to next time you walk by the grave, I want you to go and really tune into the thing that you have that you do, you know, with Ghost, and ask him that question. Like, of all things, why did you choose the peach basket?
I will tell you that the original rules of basketball are there in Lawrence. It's if you're a basketball fan, it really is a must-see, a game at Allen Fieldhouse. Harden, who he's recruited to go to Kansas when he was maybe 12 or 13 when his older brother was playing quarterback, Achille Roberson. Harden chose wisely at Arizona State. 4:38 to play here in this third quarter. Turnover Dallas. Clippers trail by 9. Dunn gets around Gafford, creates the contact, finds Coffey in the corner. Coffey did not take a single shot in that first half. He's got 32 in his last 2 games. Meanwhile, Dunn has 2 threes in the quarter, and it's cut back down to a 6-point lead. We come up on the 4-minute mark here in the third.
And Chris Dunn had his legs up underneath him on that shot. The other one's been a little short. I thought he had a little bit more bounce and spring. And he's able to knock in the much-needed 3 for the Clippers.
Marshall, he's really looked good here tonight. Spoon feeds Gafford, counted, and a foul.
Yeah, it's a different Najee Marshall. It's the one that before the sickness kind of got a hold of him. His energy is there. He's springy. Look, he's getting by his defender. Now he's either making a shot or now he's making a play. We talked about times when, said it in the first half, when Luka hasn't played, when Najee has had some really good games for this Mavericks team.
We've got to figure somebody to come off the floor here. I remember in the rules of basketball, only 5 players on the floor when I read that document. They have it like, you know how they have the Mona Lisa? They've got it like kind of behind screens, and you can't flash photography so it doesn't get hit by the sunlight. It's that way as well there. They've got a great presentation for it. at one of the, many people call it the Harvard of Lawrence there, University of Kansas. My degree may be honorary. I'm not sure.
Real honorary.
In the corner.
Ooh.
No, and it just Gafford so unready for that miss, as all of us were, as Coffey's been a sniper this year. Just goes right off his hands and out of bounds.
Yeah, that thing came like a range miss. Gafford didn't even know how to rebound that. He couldn't get his hands up quick enough to get the rebound. But fortunate for us, we got to see if James can make something happen here.
Something out of nothing, no. Big rebound there by Washington. 3:37 to play. Clippers have landed some punches, but Washington and the Mavericks have gotten up off the floor. Gafford has been a big reason why. Monster finish and another second chance effort here for Dallas. 17 second chance points. That's 2 above their season average, which I mentioned earlier is top 10 in the league. Zoo posting on Gafford, had his way with him back in the playoffs when these two matched up. They wisely get the ball out of his hands. Powell attacks, hangs, wild shot, big finish by Powell. It's 70-61 Mavericks. Norman 5 for 15. Washington off the window, no, rebound Harden. Porter Jr. now brings it the other way, weaving in and out of traffic. Screeching halt, knocks it down in the paint. Where else? We're back to a 7-point game. Some great fight, great energy here for the Clippers in this third quarter. Washington lobs to Gafford, too tall. Loose ball taken by Harden. 2:23 to play in the third. Tough pass for Porter Jr. He's able to recalibrate. They go to Zoo. Marshall flirts with a double. Zoo finds Powell, fields it low, shoots it high, and misses everything. Bizarre night from above the arc from one of the league's best three-point shooters. It happens. He's 1 for 8. Grimes hit hard, no whistle. Timeout Clippers. 72-63, 1:58 to play.
Clippers have done a really good job with Kyrie Irving. Now, he's missed some open shots. I think for the most part, the defense has been solid. Of course, Kyrie to take some tough, contested shots. That time, just the sight of Zoo there kind of altered the shot, and Chris Dunn, he ended up one-on-one, making it tough. And despite that, too, you would think that if you get a Kyrie Irving 4 for 16, no Luka Doncic, you say, okay, that's pretty good. We should be right there. Well, it's the second chance points for Dallas at 17. And then us turning the ball over. Again, Brian talked about it. 12 turnovers, only 8 points off of it, but that means that you haven't gotten shots up at the rim. And sometimes, even when we've had a little momentum, by giving it up, it kind of breaks that momentum as well.
We'll see what the Clippers can do here with the final 2 minutes of the third. They did land some body blows. They're down by 9. Mo Bamba is out there for Zoo. Bamba struggled a little bit in that first half, and those struggles continue. Great defense by Marshall, takes it to the house and thunders it down.
Again, that's one of those turnovers where it goes back to decision making. You wanted to get the ball to James, which is right, but if you can't get it to him, you're better off holding it a few seconds longer, finding someone else. Maybe you take some time off the clock, but you don't turn it over.
Bamba will try another 3. Same result. Rebound goes to Porter Jr. Bamba inside, high percentage. No. Marshall, Dinwiddie. Attacks on Batum. I almost feel like Batum allows you to get around him because he's got those long arms and he's so clever. Harden a transition 3. Oh, it's good for James Harden. He's got 18. 74-66, and the Clippers just keep hanging around here.
I'm telling you, in Dallas, with this squad here, they're going to give you a chance, okay? It's different if they were shooting lights out, and I'll be like, it's going to be tough for the Clippers to get back into it again. See, another opportunity, but we got to take advantage of it right here, Brian.
Clippers get the ball to start the fourth, and a 2-for-1 opportunity here. Bamba gives to Harden. Harden the floater. In and out. It was halfway down for Harden. Rebound goes back to Dallas. 5 seconds separate the two timers. Clippers do have a foul to give, and so do the Mavericks. Dinwiddie gets around Harden. Met by Coffey. 1 to shoot. In the corner to Marshall. Not going to get it off. Great defense by the Clippers.
Yeah. 3.6 seconds left. Plenty of time to get a good look at this.
You cut this down to a 2-possession game heading into the fourth,
right.
Shooting 37% from the field. You're giving yourself a chance. 66 points scored only for the Clippers. They scored 68 in the second half on Thursday. It's just one of those nights it happens. But it hasn't affected their defense. Porter Jr. full steam ahead from the line to the lane. Blocked by Gafford. Run it all the way. Still, Clippers down just 8. We head to the fourth. 74-66. The schedule I thought was going to be a challenge. I don't care if the Clippers were 100% healthy. Why? Well, the Memphis Grizzlies are up next. Clippers will travel there tomorrow for a Monday night game. We're having a few days off going through Christmas. The Clippers have given themselves a chance. Take a look at the West. You look at the Clippers at 16-12. Lakers, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Suns, Warriors. I want you to, in your mind, take off the best player of each of those teams. Then contact me and let me know what you think that record would be. Because that's what's happened with the Clippers, who are 5th in the West without Kawhi Leonard. The job they've done, win, lose, or draw here tonight, outrageously good. They picked up a win on this road trip. If I'm being brutally honest, I wanted 1 out of 3. Clippers have put themselves in a position to be competitive here in the fourth, and it starts with free throws from Norman Powell.
Good start. Get out, get a foul. And Norm struggling. We talked about the shooting, you know, this evening, and only 5 for 16, 1 for 8. But he is 4 for 4 from the free throw line.
Just pointing it out that the braids are still in there, Jim. And he's letting people know he didn't wear a hat for the first time in all the games this year. These are things that we keep track of on the Clipper broadcast. Hey, Steph Curry's coming to Intuit Dome. Speak of the next home game. It's the 27th. Don't miss it. Clippers take a epic West Coast rematch. Tickets, go to clippers.com/tickets. I'm telling you, if you haven't been to a game, get to this game. If you are thinking about it, if you're on holiday, it's a Friday night in LA. Steph Curry, the Warriors, always a big draw. The atmosphere is going to be off the charts.
Yep.
And the wall is going to be a factor. Be there. I've even scheduled my mother to get to that game. That's how
my mother's going to be there.
Well, moms are sitting together. Lively inside. 76-67.
Actually, that was a well-drawn-up play. Lively was able to slip and get us the attention. Even with Kyrie struggling with his shooting, he drew. Even fading, Porter Jr. able to get to a spot. Got to return to favor of Kyrie hitting his 2. Porter was able to get his 2.
Porter with 11 off the bench. He's been very good offensively here tonight. Kyrie. Bamba helps. Kyrie doesn't seem to care. Fires it up and in. Great players make tough shots.
Yep.
Kyrie doing that here. That's just his 5th made shot. He has 12. And it's a 78-69 lead for Dallas.
But the scary part about a guy like Kyrie, he may not shoot well, but he'll hit shots at the right time or the wrong time for us. And tough pass with good catch by Bamba. But you know what I mean with Kyrie is like he can struggle all night and hit 2 of the 3 of the toughest shots at the time that Dallas needs it, not us.
Well, you'll never relax with him on the floor.
Exactly.
It never doesn't matter what he's shooting. Grimes, after a strip by the Clippers, knocks down a 3. 10-point Maverick lead.
You know, also, too, those strips were going our way, leading to fast breaks in the last game. Not this one, but I tell you what, Porter Jr. is doing everything he can to kind of keep and give the Clips an opportunity to get in this, but then you give it right back. And, you know, 5-on-4 on the backside, and Grimes able to catch and shoot and knock it in.
And the Clippers trading 2s for 3s can't happen, and now the lead back to 11 for Dallas. Plenty of time remains, but the Clippers have found their offensive wind a little bit here in this second half. Can it continue? Powell around Lively to the rim, reverses it and lays it in. 18 for Norman Powell.
And that's good having that peripheral vision, because he saw where P.J. Washington was coming down the lane and was going to try to take that left side of the basket away, so he reversed it on the opposite side.
Grimes, a feel-good three. Whistle, foul. Free throws coming. An overzealous effort there by Kevin Porter Jr.
But you got to have the sense and feel of the game. You get by one opponent, and there's P.J. Washington there, able to reverse. Quentin Grimes was kind of in between, and when you're in that in between state, should I help, should I not? Not a good thing for him, better thing for us that he didn't come over and Norm got to play.
First of three for Grimes. He's been terrific tonight. Nice pickup for Dallas. Even getting to the finals, they did a wonderful job of trying to figure out how they could compete with a Boston team should they get back to the finals. Three-point shooting was a bit of an issue for them. Last year they were a mid-level three-point shooting team. Coming into the game on Thursday, they were top 5. Bamba takes a seat. Meanwhile, Kyrie Irving talking to his old boss, Ty Lue, on the sidelines.
You know what's interesting about Quentin Grimes is that it seems like he's a really good fit with this team, and maybe angling something different because he turned down the contract extension in October from the Mavericks. And maybe that's some leverage play to see what else is out there in the marketplace. So figure out what that is for his future.
Clippers go small here. Powell attacks but misses at the iron. It's a good look, and now Kyrie Irving back the other way. It's a three in transition for Irving. He felt it was off, but it's Coffey that comes away with a loose ball, and he leads the charge. Powell. Porter Jr. strides to the rim. A whistle stops the clock with 8:50 to play here in the fourth.
In that last, shot that Norman had, he missed it, but he never had control of it in his left hand. So even with the contested shot, not having control, that layup, he's close to the rim, but he didn't have the touch he needed to lay it softly off the backboard to complete the play.
Porter Jr. thought he was going to get a trip to the line. I did too, the way Pat Frayer kind of held his hand in the air, waiting for the ball to drop. Shot did not go in. It's a sideline inbound here for the Clippers, trailing by 12. The time is now, given how the offense has been overall in this game. Now, that said, Clippers are 4 of 5 here on the fourth. Powell finds another seam. Lively in pursuit. Blocks it.
That's his length right there. I mean, my goodness, man.
A second-year player, though. I mean, he is a standout. Washington in the corner for three. It's a tough one. 90-75. The Clippers had it down to 7 just moments ago. Dallas trying to pull away with 8:30 in the fourth.
Here on KTLA, 90-75, trailing one of 15 games we have brought you. We'll bring you some preseason games. But on the way next, right here on KTLA, we are headed to Phoenix, Arizona. That's in January. A couple of games there in February. OKC in March. And again, Dallas will round out our broadcast schedule in April. Now, I want to make one comment. I went back to our broadcast when we were in Boston. And Jimmy, remember, said I was going to spend maybe some holiday cheer with you on this trip. And
excuse me?
And Brian, he did not want to do any holiday cheering with me. We're going to have some eggnog. He said no eggnog.
No, I don't. In my neighborhood, we don't do eggnog.
That's what you said.
That ain't part of the ritual.
I am a little concerned for David because, Jim, you're not going to see each other for 6 weeks. Oh, Porter Jr., nice play coming out of the timeout. I'm concerned about David's well-being. Will you promise us, the viewers, our broadcast team, that you will check in to David, who has spent many nights going on eBay, looking for things signed by you, pricing them out. Irving straight on for three, in and out, rebound back tapped nicely by Kleba, right into Grimes, who may not be the leading scorer tonight, but boy, has he made a lot of plays, including one that was not intended for him.
No, but it was the offensive rebound that allowed him to have the play once again. The Mavs just a little bit quicker to those loose balls, 50-50 balls, and then they're able to capitalize off of it too.
Dunn's hit a couple of threes tonight. Give him a hat trick. It's a big one. 92-80, trying to keep the Clippers' hopes alive here with 7:30 to play. Plenty of time remains. Dunn, 9 points here tonight. And a mountain of headaches for everyone he's guarded.
Good help by Dunn right there with Kyrie, but somebody's open. Told you.
It's Grimes, and he's been terrific from above the arc. Grimes is now 3 for 4 from distance. And the Mavericks, after really struggling, are now shooting 38% on 12 of 31 from 3. Porter Jr. knocks it down. Not much of a three-point shooter at this point in the season, but puts that one down. He's got 18.
Well, now you got to pick your poison, because the last double team on Kyrie opened it up for Quentin Grimes on the weak side, where it was a 2-on-1. So good defense by Coffey. You know, and Grimes too, knocking down the shot, which we'll see this, and Porter Jr. knocks it down. This is what Lucas said. Lucas said that Quentin Grimes can even be a better player, more integral in their offense, because he's one of the better catch and shoot players that he's played with. 3 for 4 right now from behind the line.
We have a Coffey has been hit with a tee. He was unfiltered with the officials. 6:41 to play. Not sure what he's so
I think the official, Coffey said something pointing. I think the official. So let's watch here. Gives him a little. That's nothing. That's a little push.
Terrible.
He says something maybe to the bench a little bit, but I think that the official right there thought that, or assumed, or whatever it was, that whatever was directed towards him. Because I could hear or read his lips from what he was saying to Amir.
That was great defense by Coffey. Nice pass inside. Dallas has their hands on the wheel here in Texas. 98-83. 6:26 to play here in the fourth. Dunn explodes on Kleba. Powell, pump fake on a 3, lets it fly. It's good. It's about time, if you ask Norman Powell. His second in 9 attempts. He's got 21.
Have you ever done that internal? You might not see it physically, but inside, I'm sure Norman felt that way.
Kyrie misses, follows his miss. Second chance points will be the undoing for the Clippers tonight. 186. Powell. Whistle will send him to the line. The Clippers come in here at 16-12. And a tough 5:41 here if they want to get back into the game. That's it. 16-12. There's a lot of congratulations, I think. There are a lot of way to goes to be doled out. The coaching staff getting the players to buy into defense. The players buying into defense. How about the front office pivoting? When they knew Kawhi Leonard wouldn't be back right away, they saw that Paul George was not going to come back. They pivot into defense. They have a game plan. And last and certainly not least, and this one won't surprise anybody, but Steve Ballmer. How about building a $2 billion arena and signing off on letting a multi-time All-Star walk, knowing that it wasn't part of the plan right now, and it wasn't going to win you a championship for the next 2 years. You're kind of keeping your powder dry, so to speak, but in the meantime, fielding an extremely competitive team. Picking up a win on this road trip was massive. Kyrie Irving trying to put the finishing touches on the Clippers. Kleba for 3. Harden with a rebound. Powell steps into a transition triple, and he knocks it down. Hey, don't shovel dirt on him yet. 5:10 to play in the game.
And this Clipper team, one thing, they are very resilient. And for employee number 24, it doesn't take a lot. And right now the Clips cut this lead down to 9. Porter Jr., 8 for 11, 2 for 4 from behind the three-point line, 18 points. I mean, doing a little bit of everything, getting to a spot, you know, the patented step back and then You sleep, I get your back door knocked in. I've talked about those three-pointers, 2 for 4. Why that's important is because third game with multiple threes in the past 4, shooting about 38% in December. And that's coming off of shooting 18% in October and November from 3. So the improvement as he's more comfortable, Brian, has been there. Good to see. We needed it this evening.
Harden is at the line because as we were going into break, Najee Marshall was saying something, I believe, in the direction of Amir Coffey, right in front of Pat Frayer. They teed him up, so now it's an 8-point game with a long way to go. If I'm being very honest, I'd be a little nervous if I were Dallas. Now, they've been through the ringer before, but letting a team hang around that the Clippers are right here, Clippers get a stop. Thompson picked up by Zoo. Picks up his dribble. Now it's Kyrie away from the ball. Whistle, offensive foul. We're going the other way. 4:53 to play in the game, and it's a 192 affair.
Yeah, and Clippers did a good job of kind of zoning up the defense and not allowing the one-on-one to happen with Zoo on Klay Thompson. And Klay right there impedes the progress of one Chris Dunn, hence causing the offensive foul.
Clippers 9 of 11 here in the fourth. Powell accelerates, crashing through defenders. A whistle and a foul. He'll go to the line for 2. It's the 4th foul on Dallas. Clippers with just 1 team foul with 4:41 to play in the game.
But this is a tough action because you go to the strong side, but you're going to bring Norman off of the right side, which is the weak side, off of a screen. But then as he continues to dribble, you got Zoo rolling down the lane. So that puts the defense in a precarious situation, and the shiftiness of Norman Powell is able to get downhill, down lane, and pick up the foul.
First of 2, uses every ounce of iron.
Which is needed. Sometimes it's not clean, like some of my putts, but, you know, it rolls in there.
It still counts for that triple bogey.
Yeah, we try to keep those snowmen away from the card.
11-2 run. It's a 2-possession game, 4:35 to play. The Clippers offense has found a groove here in the 4th.
You know the ball is going on this end of the court.
Kyrie's going to make something happen. He draws a crowd. It leaves Thompson open for 3.
And Norman he had the decision to make right there. He was late. He was hanging around with Dinwiddie, and he didn't want to give it up, but that was Klay Thompson at the top.
Good quick strike by the Clippers. Excellent pass there by Dunn. 4:05 to play, 103-96.
And go back to this elbow play with Kyrie. Okay, because it's giving them some opportunities. You see him on the elbow.
Gafford, 7 to shoot. Not much of a playmaker. Dinwiddie's going to have to be. It's a deep 3 and a foul on Norman Powell. You have the Mavericks in a tough spot late in the clock.
But it's a tough situation because Norman Powell with Dinwiddie is not going under. He's going over the screen. See right here, now you're in trail position. When you're in trail position, and maybe Dinwiddie kicking that leg out, but see, we missed the opportunity right there to look at it because we didn't have the challenge, but that was a tough one right there. Anytime you're trailing like that, you try to fight over the top, Brian, it's hard to get back because the offensive players is smart enough to go up for the shot knowing that there's going to be contact.
I'll save the Clipper bench. I feel like that would have been unsuccessful.
You think so?
I do.
Because it's a natural motion of his leg. He didn't actually kick it out. It was a natural motion, right?
I didn't feel like it was exaggerated for sure.
But I tell you what, if you had the challenge, you would want to take it in that situation to see if it could get overturned.
Scores and stops in that order. Powell misses on the 3. Lively with a rebound. 3.5 to play in this one. Mavericks by 10. Dinwiddie just 3 for 12 from the field. Boy, he created a lot of contact with that elbow. It's a late whistle, and it goes against Dallas. Dinwiddie saying review it, getting awful animated with the officials. And Jason Kidd says, let's chat. He's going to challenge 3:21 to play in the game. And we know why.
Yeah, we know why. And I love the attempt by Norman here. See that inside left, then the right.
Any illegal contact by Dinwiddie. Howell's grabbing the arm of Dinwiddie. Therefore, this has been overturned. To a defensive foul. Play will resume. Dallas possession on the side.
So did you see how Pat was leaning on the when he was doing it? Did you see it?
I didn't. He was more leaning forward.
You know why? I was talking to him about the camera. See, when you live in LA, you understand photos and video and how to look. So he leaned more into it to give you more of a presence.
Interesting. No,
see, look. See, I'm inviting you into what I'm doing. I want you to calmly, so you feel me. The softness in his eyes and his. Oh, man, I kill myself sometimes, man.
Oh. Off the side of the backboard, loose ball goes to Dunn. Clippers down 10, but Dunn steps out of bounds. Boy, the unforced errors to close the second quarter were a real problem. That's just a hustle play there by Dunn.
Well, but, you know, here's the hustle. But this goes back to who this Clipper team really is, okay, which is, I thought his heel was up right there.
I agree with that. Right in front of the officials, though.
We just gave Pat some love, and he does that to us. But our margin of error when we're having nights like this or turnover.
Dinwiddie gets it right back.
You know what I mean? Our margin of error, we can't overcome the self-inflicted wounds as well as other teams who the roster looks a little bit different and can do that.
Irving with 6 to shoot, picked up by Harden. The step back, long two, rebound tapped out of bounds. Nope, saved. Beg your pardon. Here come the Clippers, 2:39 to play. They need a magic lamp and all 3 wishes. And Derek Lively says, I've got your lamp right here. Irving the other way. Clippers down 10.
I'll tell you what, Lively, he may be the MVP of this game for the Mavericks, just on everything he's been able to do with the offensive rebounds, block shots, 11 rebounds.
Washington in the corner ahead of the horn. 2 minutes to go, 10-point game. We've seen crazier things happen, but when that happens, it's awful tough. 16 turnovers, but as Jim has said, it's not the volume, it's the timing of those turnovers, and a lot of them led to momentum in the second quarter for Dallas, and it's helping Dallas pull away from the Clippers late in this one.
Down to 10, fans, let's get you from the Lord of the 300s. Voices up!
These two teams don't play again until April. It'll be very interesting to see where things are for both teams.
Yeah. And
the Clippers trending obviously in the right way. I mentioned it earlier. Even with the loss here tonight, they'd be 16-13. And on just pure speculation from what we've seen, what we've read, Kawhi Leonard is around the corner. I felt and was concerned that Kawhi would come back to a team that was 4, 5, maybe 6 games under 500. It doesn't seem like that is going to be the case. And it's just going to be such a race. In the final 50 or so games, Kawhi on the trip for the first time this year.
Well, the good is that he will be back. And I'm not going to say the bad. The challenge is going to be now you have to reset roles with Kawhi coming back in the lineup, offensively and defensively, in particular on the offensive side, because to this point of the season, you know, this Clippers team, by talking about being 16-13, 29 games, you got into a rhythm, how you rotate, what your playing rotations are. how you're used offensively in Klay Thompson. With Kawhi coming back, a lot of that change, and it's going to change again, Brian, because he's going to be on minutes restriction at the beginning. And then once he really plays full time, everything, the rotations, everything changed.
But it's the best problem that Ty could ever have.
You better believe it.
With this team. And I know they won the game without Luka and Kyrie on Thursday, but if you want me to be very honest, I feel like they have earned every single victory this year. And it's just a great culture and a great mindset that Kawhi Leonard, in time, will be returning to. Dinwiddie. And the finishing touches here for Dallas. Clippers did all they could to hang around despite not having their fastball for sure. And Dallas also didn't have their fastball. Kyrie Irving 6 for 25. But I agree with you 100%. The MVP of this game is Derek Lively. Klay Thompson hit some big shots as well, but only took 9 of them. And Jason Kidd going to empty out his bench. It's interesting here for Dallas. We had a pretty brutal stretch with a lot of games and not a lot of time, but some of those games were at home for the Clippers. The Mavericks coming into tonight 17-10 and have had 15 road games. At one point in time, played 13 of 17 away, and yet I bring up that record. They're 17-10 with those games, tough opponents on the road. This is a team that certainly feels like, in their mind, and I certainly understand it, they could absolutely come out of the West again. They're a better team than they were a year ago.
Well, and then you know this too. Schedule and when you play a team matters so much. So on the back end, you talk about the number of home games they're going to have. Healthy Dallas Mavericks team. Late in the year, playing against some teams that are struggling, may have some injuries. All in the Mavericks' favor to close it out, you know, with some momentum going into the playoffs.
Jason Kidd takes over. They go to the conference finals. They miss the playoffs. They go to the NBA finals.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't hurt to have Kyrie and Luka. I mean,
sure about that?
Shout out to my man Nico Harrison for making the moves last year by getting Gafford, by getting PJ Washington, you know, making those necessary moves.
Well, we'll see where these two teams are in the standings the next time they meet. It'll be in April. Clippers, meanwhile, come in here and they split it, and that is a win to this reporter for sure. But the final score here tonight, 113-97, Mavericks over the Clippers.